Yes, we can start.
Chennai Toastmasters and dear guests, it is my immense pleasure to welcome you all to our 818th meet of Chennai Toastmasters Club and our very first hybrid meet for this year. The vision of every Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in such a way. The members are empowered to improve their communication skills and leadership qualities, resulting in greater personality growth and confidence. Members of Toastmasters are guided by a set of essential core values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Before moving on to the meeting, I would like to brief upon certain rules to be followed. Kindly keep your mobile phones on silent. Do not talk about taboo topics such as politics, religion, and sex. Kindly be silent or stay on mute until it's your turn to speak. Lastly, for the speakers who are speaking from the offline stage, please be loud and clear while you are speaking. I hope everyone is all set and ready to get into the meeting. Now it's time to introduce our presiding officer. Our presiding officer for the day is Madam Toastmaster Abhinay. To give you a few words about her, she is a CA by profession and a diligent Toastmaster. As a Toastmaster, she has been an ex-com member as a CA, VP membership, and ex-VP education at CP, and she is our current president of the club. Now let's welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Abhinay, to the stage.
Thank you, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Vishnu, for the warm introduction. It is indeed a great moment, the first hybrid meeting for this year. I feel very nostalgic thinking about the day I stepped into CTM as a guest, looking at all the members who were performing, and I was awestruck with the whole setup and immediately decided to become a member. I'm just going back to that moment. One thing that never changed in life is change. CTM started with physical meetings, and when COVID took over, we went on to the Zoom meetings, and now we are into the hybrid setup. There is always this members churn. The members come in, members stay, they grow old, they become mentors, then their mentees are there, people leave, new people come in. But despite all this change that happened, CTM always stood strong. We were one club, we were always going through, just getting better in terms of quality or our membership. I'm very happy to be here, to be the presiding officer for this particular meeting. On this note, I would like to declare open meeting number 818. I would like to formally recognize the presence of our founding member and the District 120 Mentor Pool Chair, Distinguished Toastmaster Nina John. Welcome, ma'am. Happy to have you here. Also, I would like to recognize the presence of our C1 Area Director, Toastmaster Adil, for being here. We also have our C4 Area Director, our Distinguished Toastmaster, Venu, here. Thank you, sir, for being here. Also, we have a few guests. Welcome to all the guests in the physical venue and also in the Zoom. We would love to hear from you towards the end of the meeting. So stay on and enjoy the experience today. So now it's time to get on to the meeting. And first, I would request the secretary to deliver the secretary report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhinay. Good evening, everyone. Last week, we had 817th meet. The theme was Master Your Voice. Toastmaster of the day was Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan. He shared about breathing exercise, which is a diaphragmatic breathing for better vocal variety and voice. And he mentioned voice is a gift to change the world. Then we had an educational session by Distinguished Toastmaster Shivaraj about parliamentary procedure. Then we had a prepared speech by Toastmaster Sharad about effective body language. Then Toastmaster of the day, Monica, was the table topic master. It was her first time role taken, and she did a very good job. Then Toastmaster Abhilash was the general evaluator. The recommendation was he requested members to join the meeting earlier to check audio and video, and he recommended to share the agenda before the earlier, as soon as earlier. Then Presiding Officer Toastmaster Abhirami adjourns the meeting to today. Then we had a business meeting for members. And last week we had a word of the day was Adroid, meaning very skillful usage and Adroid leader. Thank you. Over to you, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Abhirami.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vignesh, for the detailed report. Now it's time to invite the Toastmaster of the day to take over the session. To say a few words about him, he is a distinguished Toastmaster. He has been a Toastmaster for the last 8 years. That's really a long time. And he's also served as the president of CTM. And on the professional side, he is working with Airports Authority of India. On this note, let me hand over the stage to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you all. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and distinguished guests on spot as well as on stage. So welcome you all to the first ever hybrid meeting of this year. So on behalf of President, I would like to get the introduction from the guests. We have a couple of guests here. So can you please introduce who you are and how do you know about Toastmaster? Yeah. Sure. Thank you so much, Surya.
Hey, my name is Deepak. I came to know from and my cousin brother's wife was also in Toastmasters.
Wow.
I know a little bit about it, but I don't know much. So right now I'm learning about it. And even later guest Toastmasters without a meeting, but couldn't continue for the second meeting. So now I'm
Thank you. You are already Toastmaster family. So welcome again to Toastmaster family. Yes. Would you like to?
Toastmasters,
Yeah.
I was not able to Toastmasters for the past some months. So,
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back. Yes. Thank you. Welcome. Toastmaster CTM, that is my one.
I came here to surprise you, but I'm not surprised by saying
Thank you. So for the benefit of guests, a Toastmaster meeting has a three segments. The first one is called prepared session, where we are the speakers. They are going to deliver their prepared speeches as per the project objectives. 5 to 7 minutes or what the project demands. And the second segment is called safety topic session. Here, the topic will be given on the spot. So a speaker has to speak on the topic or against the topic 1 to 2 minutes. And third one is called evaluation or feedback session. Here, that senior Toastmaster will give feedback on the prepared speeches as well as for the table topic speeches. So this is the segment. And also we are going to use some jargon like TMOD. That's nothing else. It's a Toastmaster of the day. It's a MC, nothing else. It's a master of ceremony. And also GE called Gentle Evaluator. I will introduce them and they will explain what role they are going to play. So apart from that, we have a theme of the day. Every meeting may not have a theme of the day, but today we have a theme of the day. That is called why should we renew or why should we join Toastmasters International? So most of the guests would think that I am the marketing person, right? or the Toastmaster of the day from other club will think that I am the BPM. Sorry, I'm not. But here I am going to share our experience, why we should join Toastmaster or why should we renew our Toastmaster. For example, we have veteran Toastmaster GTM Nina Jan. She has been here for 20 years. She has almost completed twice or thrice the GTM. So what's need to continue here? Right? That's what I thought when I joined. After completion of GTM, what's need to continue here as again paying the amount, being a part of this and giving speeches. Yeah? Yes, exactly. Because learning is a process, it's a journey, not a destination. Here everyone has, even after 20 years, she or we feel that we have something yet to learn. That's why we are here. So learning is not a destination, it's not a journey, destination, it's a journey. So we have to travel every day, every time, every minute we are learning. So that's why one of the main reasons we need to renew and we have to deliver speeches and learn from others. This is a good platform here. You are not only teaching, but getting a lot of things from your juniors. Don't think that I'm the senior here. Toastmaster later may think that I'm 7 years, what should I learn from these seniors? No. She has that broad mind to learn from others. That's why every time she is renewing, that's why we are renewing. So we have a lot of things to know why we should renew. Before that, we have to ensure that our meeting is going with quality, not only with this quantity, as well as with the quality meeting we have to provide. For that, we have a very good person called General Evaluator. This person, today this role is going to be played by one of the veteran Toastmasters. We are calling her as godmother of CTM because she is a founder member of Chennai Toastmasters. Currently, she is the meta chair of District 120 and former district governor. A lot of things I can deliver a super speech if you want. But unfortunately, considering the time, let me welcome DTM Nina John, the General Evaluator.
Toastmasters Day, fellow Toastmasters, yes, such a pleasure to be back in a physical meeting where we can see each other and shake hands and get the energy from the rest of the audience. That's really what Toastmasters is all about. Getting energy, giving energy, and the synergy is what makes everything go forward. Toastmasters believes in constant improvement, constant excellence, and consistency of standards. So the role of general evaluator is basically the quality control of a meeting. How well is the meeting run? Are each parts coherent with the other? Are they moving forward in terms of the objectives of the meeting? Is there anything we can do to improve the level of the meeting? So for that, the general evaluator has two teams of people. One is called the tag team, the timer, the counter, and the other is called team of evaluators. So our timer for today, Toastmaster Rishi Prasad, is a freelance marketing person. He has joined Toastmasters in the last 2 months, and I would now invite him to give us an idea of what he's going to do. Toastmaster Rishi.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters, and as timer, I will try to take out speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote the specific times. So that's it.
Thank you, sir. So remember, the timer's role is crucial for a Toastmaster's life. As speakers, we must know how long can we speak. And as Winston Churchill said, stand up, speak up, shut up. So all these three are part of the timeless duties. Learn when to stop. Our next role player is the R counter. May I request Toastmaster Bharat to come forward and tell us about his role.
Greetings to fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is Bharat and I'm playing R counter of the day today. And the purpose of R counter is to note down the words and filler sounds used as a crutch today. And also I will also listen to the overused words such as and, so, because, I know, and also the filler sounds such as her. And at the end of the meeting, I'll report all the speakers with their with these words. Thank you.
Highway. There are potholes, there are ditches, there are unexpected things that happen. The highway is smooth as silk and you are driving. What a pleasurable experience that is. That's what the R counter's role is. Not to point out the R's and Ums for you to feel bad about, for you to realize if I cut these down, my speech is smoother and more fluent and people can understand me better. Our third member is the grammarian. Toastmasters helps us improve our communication skills. We're a global international organization, so therefore improving our English speaking skills is part of the agenda. We have a grammarian who is currently online, Toastmaster Shivakumar. He's an HR professional with 16 years of experience, and he has been with Toastmasters very recently. He's going to tell us, he's playing the role for the first time. He's going to tell us about his role. Toastmaster Shivakumar.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Nina John, for the warm introduction. I'm playing the role of grammarian. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to the language usage. I will take note of misuse of English language, as well as outstanding words or quotes used by the speakers. It's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is coherent, which means consistent or organized. An example of using the word is, make sure the facial expression is coherent with your message. Each speaker is encouraged to use this word of the day as much as possible. I'll give you a word of the day report as well as grammatical usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you, General Evaluator. Back to you.
And when you join Toastmasters, it's all fun and games listening to all the speeches. When you give your speech, back of your mind is that feeling. What did I do? How did I do? If I join Toastmasters and I pay those $45, what's in it for me? So our team of evaluators is there to analyze each speech personally, individually, and see how you can improve for the future. They will come in our next segment. Meanwhile, let me hand you over back to our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Now we can ensure that we are going to have a quality meeting, right? Because every speaker and role players should cross this gate: grammarian, accountant, timer, and evaluator. So after crossing this gate only, you can prove yourself a good speaker. That's the one reason why you should join Toastmasters International. Because most of the time we can deliver a speech. If you ask me to deliver a speech for 1 hour, I can blah, 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 blah. But without the R's and M's, within the time limit, without grammatical mistake, or switching the purpose of my speech, it's not easy. For that, we have to learn from Toastmasters International. Because most of the time we do mistakes. Opportunity knocks only one time, right? In real life. But here, the opportunity door is always open. You are welcome to commit mistake. But only thing, you should not repeat that mistake again. You have to learn from the mistake, you have to move forward. not with the same mistake. So you are always welcome to commit mistakes. Because this is the platform, this is the only platform you are allowed to do mistakes. For example, if you are asked to deliver a presentation in your office, just imagine you may have the situation, same situation like this hybrid meeting. Some people are online, some people are on the spot. You need to deliver a presentation. If I commit a mistake, what will happen? I will be fired, or I will not get another opportunity, right? But don't worry, here you will get the opportunity. Every time you commit a mistake, your mentor or the evaluator or senior Toastmaster will guide you. That's why we should join Toastmasters. That's why we should train Toastmasters. With that, talking is easy, right? We are going to show some examples how Toastmaster transform individuals. For that, we have a special segment called Prepared Speech Session. Here, we are going to have two prepared speeches today. The first one is from Toastmaster Geeta. Toastmaster Geeta is going to deliver the project number 2 from the level 1, evaluation and feedback from the Pathways Motivational Strategy. And before calling upon Toastmaster Geeta, the first speaker, let me call upon the evaluator Toastmaster Rekha to read the project objectives. Thank you, Rekha.
Let me start with a happy note. I'm so happy to see everyone in person and to have a handshake. So Geeta, one small correction. Geeta is going to deliver her speech from level 1, project 1, from the Pathways Motivational Strategies, not project 2, but project 1. And the purpose of her speech is for the member, that is Toastmaster Geeta, to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and then this feedback, what she receives today, she will be applying in her second speech. The speech title is Value People in Your Lives, and the timing 5 to 7 minutes. Now I hand over the control back to Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rekha. I told you now you are allowed to commit mistake. The first mistake done by me. Thank you. And now let me call upon Toastmaster Geeta from the title is Value People in Your Life. Toastmaster Geeta, Value People in Your Life. Over to you.
We all have people in our lives who challenge us personally and professionally. These people can be unruly critical, bring drama to every situation, act as though they know everything, and they can even take credit of your works and achievements. How do you deal with them? Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Let me narrate you a small incident which happened a few years ago. I took up as the editor of a bulletin of the organization that I am a part of. It was fun coordinating with the printer. In the process, I had to compile the photos, I had to compile the articles, and we came out with a beautiful layout also. And friends, when the bulletin was ready, the person who was supposed to help me as the co-editor blamed me for not involving her in the editorial. Friends, the truth was she did not want to get involved. All she wanted was to take credit of my work. So how do you expect me to treat her? It is very much obvious that I would get angry, and I really got angry and treated her with a lot of negativity. And friends, in response, I received negativity from her. In short, we were stuck in the pool of negativity and the bitterness grew. So my question to you all is, did I treat the co-editor correctly? Or you please tell me, how would you treat the person if you were under a similar circumstance? Think about it. Until then, I will narrate you all a short story. A bus full of passengers was traveling. Suddenly, the weather changed. There was loud thunder and huge downpour. All could see that the lightning was appearing to come towards the bus and it would move somewhere else. After 2 or 3 such instances, The bus driver stopped the bus 50 yards away from a tree and said, "There is someone in this bus whose death is certain today. I want each one of you to take turns, get down the bus, walk up to the tree and touch the tree, and come back. Whosoever the death is certain will get struck by the lightning. At least the others will be saved." It was a very difficult situation. They literally had to force the first passenger to get down the bus. And this first passenger, poor thing, he got down the bus with fear of death in his eyes. He reluctantly walked up to the tree and touched the tree trunk. His heart leaped with joy when he realized that he was safe and the lightning did not strike him. And he returned back safely to the bus. Friends, this continued with all but last of the passengers. Finally, it was turn for the last passenger to get down the bus and touch the tree trunk. All the passengers in the bus looked at him with accusing eyes. This person, also with a fear of death in his eyes, reluctantly got down the bus, walked up to the tree trunk, and touched the tree. Suddenly, there was a loud noise, and the lightning struck the bus. Yes, fellow Toastmasters, and yes, you heard it right. The lightning struck the bus and killed each and every passenger in the bus. It was this passenger in the bus who was actually protecting the other passengers in the bus. And once this passenger was out of the bus, all the passengers were exposed to this kind of a death. This is a metaphor for life. In life, friends, we all, wherever in whatever position we are in today, we actually feel that it is because of our own advantage, our own achievements are because of our own credit. We give credit only to ourselves. What we fail to realize is, like the passenger of the bus who was protecting the other passengers, also have people in our lives who are protecting us and saving us from all the bad that could possibly happen to us. Now I will come back to my question. Did I treat the co-editor correctly? I'm sure. Is someone willing to give me the answer? I'm sure you all will say that I did not treat her correctly. But at that time, I did not realize that. But only after a year, when I had to take up the bulletin again, I realized that I was able to confidently complete the bulletin. It was such an effortless work that I was able to give a lot of improvement also to the bulletin. I realized that this person had actually indirectly helped me to learn a new skill. My reaction towards her changed. I started to respond to her with love and kindness. And in turn, friends, I received the same treatment from her. I'm very happy to share that today we both are really thick friends. So dear friends, in our lives, we may come across people who can challenge us and personally or professionally. So how do we deal with them? All we need to do is to embrace these people and shower them with love and kindness, because these are the people who are stimulating our growth. They are teaching something about ourselves. They are helping us set boundaries. They are actually the wind beneath our wings. So let us embrace these people. As we embrace these people, let us also value and respect the people who are actually like the passenger of the bus who protected the other passengers in the bus. There are people in our lives. They are in the form of our parents, our siblings, our teachers, or our relatives who are protecting us and saving us from all the bad that could possibly be happening to us. So dear fellow Toastmasters, yes, let's all learn to value people in our lives. They might challenge us or they might be blessing us. So let us acknowledge and value their presence in our lives. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Master Geeta, for such a wonderful speech. Yeah, we are also passengers. We are traveling in the CTM bus towards our DTM destination. So learning a lot of things throughout the journey, right? So after such a wonderful speech, now we are moving to the next speech. And regarding that next speaker, we can say that he's one of such a person I used to admire, because in this short span of time, I can say that only a couple of Toastmasters are doing that. So he utilized properly, because most of the time we have this complaint, most of the Toastmasters, they are without utilizing the Toastmaster platform properly, they will say that what's the use of Toastmasters? So one of my friends, when I went to his home, he's watching a yoga program. I asked him whether it's a good one. No, it's a total utter waste. Last 1 year I'm watching, nothing happened to my body. Like that, many Toastmasters are doing that. So they are simply watching. Others performing, they are simply watching. They are saying that, complaining that I'm not improving, not at all improving. What's the use of joining Toastmaster? See, public speaking is not a gallery activity. You have to get into the platform, because it's just like a swimming pool. Just getting the membership for the swimming pool, you can't learn the swimming, or you can't be expert. So you have to jump into. Don't expect that someone will push you, or spoon feeding. You have to do this. That's why we are encouraging you. Nothing matters if you are committing mistake, or if you are doing something wrong, nothing matters. But you have to do that. So such a person, we can say that Toastmaster Abhilash, because this man is doing a great thing, utilizing properly, getting value for his money. That's why I want to say that. Because you are paying a huge amount, get value for that, he's doing properly. And also, another thing I admire in Toastmaster is you can repeat your speech as much as you want, as he is doing today. I think this speech is run out, but still it's not run out. Super. So today Toastmaster Abhilash is going to deliver the speech from the project number 2, level 3. I hope it's the right one. And understanding the vocal variety from the presentation mastery pathways. Before I call upon Toastmaster Abhilash, I would like to call upon his evaluator Toastmaster Deepak to read the project objectives of Toastmaster Abhilash. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, distinguished Toastmaster Venu. My target speaker, Toastmaster Abhilash, is presenting his level 3 project 2, understanding vocal variety. And his purpose of the speech is to present a prepared speech within 5 to 7 minutes on how the vocal variety impacts the audience. So how he understands the vocal variety. Timer, please note the timing again. It's 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Venu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. Now the second speaker, Toastmaster Abhilash. 94 not out. 94 not out, Toastmaster Abhilash.
All right, back in your school days, how many of you have gone to the principal's office? Feel free to raise your hands. That's good. How many of you have had your parents also summoned to the principal's office? I think I hold a unique record there. I was summoned by my principal just 3 days into my pre-K. Let me tell you why. I had bit the hand of a girl named Samyukta because she had eaten one of my idlis but refused to give me a piece of her bread and jam. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, a very warm good evening. That was the first documented incident of my love story. A relationship spanning 20 plus years. Wait, not with Samyukta, but with us. Now, let me tell you, appearances might be misleading, but we should stand. Believe it or not, that was how I used to look in 6th grade. In fact, the auntie next door, she would look at me and say, "Oh, Abhilash, you're growing thinner day by day. Why don't you have some almonds in the morning and perhaps you'll put on some weight?" I would tell her, "Auntie, I'm not just having almonds, I'm having almonds, pistas, pizzas, chocolates, hazelnuts, everything." But that was how I am. Do you honestly think I would have the patience to tell her all this? No. I would just grin at her awkwardly like this and move on. Then came in 8th grade, and at that time, I did manage to put on a few kilos. Now, my parents at that time advised me, eat with some caution. But that time I was in a why do you care when I can have more dinner attitude, and I moved on. The 90s, they say, it's a very nervous time in cricket. Nervous 90s it is called. Will that century come or not? 96, 97, 98, 99, 99.4. And finally, in the summer of 2020, 100, I achieved on the weighing scale. Now, this 100 did not set off the kind of celebrations that we see back in the cricketing world. It rather set off a panic among my family members, and I was asked to start exercising and dieting so that I could reduce my weight. My dad, for his part, bought me a Fitbit. Now, to those of you who do not know what a Fitbit is a watch that costs 10,000 rupees and counts the number of steps that you take. Had I known that that watch costs 10,000 rupees, I would have counted the steps that I take myself. My mom, for her part, she suggested that I drink green tea. 3 months I drank green tea, then I realized green tea will help you lose weight only if you go and directly pluck it from the garden yourself and come and drink. But let me tell you, reaching 100 had a profound impact on me as well, and I resolved that I should start dieting and exercising regularly. They say that when you take a decision with resolve, the entire universe conspires to make it happen. Yet, when I took this decision to exercise, I think the entire universe was trying to tell me, "Abhilash, you chose poorly." Let me tell you why. Just 1 month after I decided to do this, one of my friends came. "Macha, it's my birthday today. Let's go for a treat." Let me tell you, he was a friend who, in our 15 plus years of friendship, had not given a single treat. And when those 15 years of escape flashes before your eyes, what could I do? I had to go. Still, I continued. 3 months into this coincided with the lifting of lockdowns across the country, and that came my cousin's big fat Indian wedding. 3 days of feasting on all kinds of items from golgappas, pani puri, multi-flavored ice creams ensured that I and my tummy were back to square one. And yet I resolved, I shall continue this. I enlisted the help of a friend who was a personal trainer. The first day, he took me to his gym and he showed me around various equipments. I do not remember exactly, but there were around, say, 10 plus treadmills, ellipticals, weights, blah, 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 everything. After a detailed tour of the gym, he asked me, "Abhi, do you have any doubt?" And at that time, let me tell you, the most pressing thing in my mind was, the gym was on the 3rd floor of a building and the building did not have any lift. How was I going to come up there every day and go? But let me tell you, things were a little smooth after that. I resolved that I would definitely exercise. And around 3 months into this regimen, I go to him with a lot of excitement and say, "Sir, I can feel your professional regimen acting already. My stomach is already paining here and there. I think my weight is reducing." He looks at me with a concerned expression and says, "We have not reached that level yet. I'm only giving basic exercises to your legs." And I was left wondering, well, what is this? Why is my stomach paining? Rest assured, that pain was resolved with the next day morning visit to the restroom that woke up half my family members. But for me, the pain was resolved. Let me tell you, friends, it was a very challenging journey. But finally, 1 month ago, I have now finally given up dieting. And so, to all the beautiful pizzas, pastas, and everything out there, here is a newly single, ready to mingle guy, back in the nervous 90s, and now looking to hit a century once again. The score, oops, sorry, the weight reads 94, not out. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Abhilash. That's a wonderful speech. Even though it's a hackneyed one, many times we heard, still it's a very interesting. And thank you for such a wonderful speech, because we have heard the apple bite love story from Adam and Eve. First time I heard the hand bite love story from Samyukta and Abhilash. That's a really great thing. And also about, this is another thing you have, why you should join Toastmaster, because you will get a lot of ideas and tips to reduce your body. Apart from the communication and leadership, also you will learn a lot of things. Even many times as I used to give some suggestion to one of my friends who used to be somewhat stuck. And when he asked me that question, I told him, just you need not do any exercise. What you have to do is simply move your head like here and there. Then you will reduce your entire body. Then how it is possible, man? I do all kinds of exercise. Then I can't do how simply moving my head like this. How I can reduce my weight? Then I told him, whenever somebody asks you, do you want more to eat? Then you simply say that. That will help you to reduce your body. Otherwise, if you have a gym boy here, you can ask him how to build up such a muscle here. And one more reason why we should renew or join Toastmasters. The problem is, life is full of mysteries, right? We have to expect the unexpected. All of a sudden, you face some questions that you did not expect. From your boss, from office or boss at home, they may ask a lot of questions, you can't manage it. You have to answer it spontaneously from the spot. That's another skill you are going to learn from Toastmaster. For that, we have a separate segment called Chichi, Table Topic Session. Don't worry about this. This is an impromptu speech session. And to conduct this session, we have a special person, Toastmaster Sarat. I would say that he is a youth icon. If you want to get inspiration from other books, to just watch him. Watch his lifestyle, watch his achievement. You'll get the inspiration from his life. So, without much ado, let me call upon Toastmaster Sarat, the research scholar from IIT Madras.
What a beautiful moment, and getting an introduction from my lovable mentor. Thank you so much, DTM Venu. The moment they said physical meeting, the first role which comes in my mind is TT Master. Anyone guess why? Safest role. It's the safest role to be in a physical meeting. And guess you may not understand it now. Maybe later at the end of the meeting you will. So for the benefit of guests, TT session is a session where you will be called and given a topic. You will be asked to speak impromptu on the topic for a minimum of 1 minute and the maximum of 2 minutes 30 seconds. At the end of 1 minute, timer will show a green light. At the end of 1 minute 30 seconds, timer will show a yellow light. At the end of 2 minutes, timer will show a red light. And you have to summarize your speech and you have to conclude by 2 minutes 30 seconds. If you exceed 2 minutes 30 seconds, you will be disqualified for voting. So let's start our TT session. To call first, we have our own area director of C1, Toastmaster Adil. Toastmaster Adil Ibrahim, you are a VP membership of your club. This time the renewal is 15. Tell us why this is a good news. You are a VP membership of your club. This time your renewal is less than 50. Tell us why this is a good news. Toastmaster Adil Ibrahim.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharat. You are lucky that you were introduced by your mentor. I don't know what is my bad luck. I have given this topic by my mentor. Just imagine you are sitting at home for last 3 years and you're playing that online video games, especially the cricket, ESPN game. Suddenly one day you brought up to a cricket field, Chepa ground. You was made to stand in the field. You've given a bat and asked to play. So that is how I feel now, because the last 2 years you were comfortably sitting, switched off the video and muted yourself and enjoyed the meeting. Now, finally, I'm able to see the 3-dimensional Toastmaster. I'm possible happy for that. Now, I am the Vice President membership of the club. The renewal is just 15. More than me, my mom will be happy because I'll tell you the reason. The moment this Corona thing hit, I took some 1 year gap. I wouldn't say gap, I on and off attended Toastmasters meeting. And after 1 year, I realized, okay, this is going to continue for a longer time. So what I did was I ordered some green mat river to do all the virtual background things, the stand, everything around. It cost around 5,500 rupees. And then I started doing some course on how to edit that background, how to have that virtual background and all. Now the course is not complete yet. So I paid 3,000 rupees for the course. My mom asked me, why is that? I said, Mom, I have to give a better impression. Now, even before the course ends, we are back here. Yesterday, my mom asked, so you ordered all these things, now you say you're gonna go to a physical meeting. I told her, this is a veteran Toastmaster, you always says that this is a place where we should make mistakes. Clearly said, this is not a place to make a financial mistake, we have to plan accordingly. So there will be persons in your home who will say, do not renew, this is a financial risk. Never listen to that. Only you will know what is the benefit when you come over here, only when you stand on the stage, when your legs shiver, when butterflies flying inside your stomach, you'll know what is the benefit of this stage. Thank you, my lovely.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adil Ibrahim. For the next topic, I'd like to call distinguished Toastmaster Ratish. At the age of 5, we dream to be a pilot or a fireman or a policeman. At the age of 15, we dream to be in a rock and roll band. Tell us why you dream to be a GPay account. Tell us why you dream to be a GPay account, DTM Ratish.
Good afternoon, everyone. The first time I heard this particular topic, I remember my 11th standard. My sir gave a topic. He said, okay, the topic is general. You can pick your own topic and start writing what you want to get. I was a computer science student. I started writing that I want to become a general surgeon. Immediately, I don't know how he got to know it's a mind reading or something. He just said, if you are a computer science student and if you are writing something idiotic like I want to become a doctor, stop there and write what is very appropriate to you and what you want to become. I immediately remember that point. I actually enjoyed and I corrected myself. Now, as a kid, we had a lot of aim to become this or that in our lives, right? I also had. Initially, I had one point that I want to become a doctor. Then I thought I want to become an IAS officer. Now the girl that I was given now is GPay. So the first thing is, what I would see is, if I become a doctor or any other profession, at one point we need to run behind money. But at this stage, money always comes to me and goes out. I don't need to worry about money. The particular matter, money, I don't need to worry. I'll be happy receiving money from unknown people, sending money to unknown people. With that, I will achieve half of what everyone wants to achieve in their life. Thank you, and back to you.
For the next topic, we are going to have two participants. May I request our VP Education Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan and Tarun. So, Tarun, you are a member of a club of a CTM. You are VP membership of CTM. So, Tarun is going to talk about why he is not renewing. What are the reasons he is not renewing the club? And after Tarun's talk, VP membership is going to convince Tarun and renew his membership at the end of the speech. You got? Yeah. I should persuade him to. Yeah, you should persuade him to renew his membership. You should tell the reason why you are not renewing this time.
Good evening all, this is Tarun Balakumar, Toastmaster Tarun Balakumar. I'm not renewing my Toastmasters account because till now I didn't renew. And I'm thinking of why I need to renew. As we are conducting only in online. Now also we have only hybrid. No one is yet to. Many of them are yet to come to offline. So this is my problem. So, and other reason is I'm not able to get a proper mentor. I'm not able to get a proper mentor who is. I want a mentor who irritates me every time to give the speech script. And the third reason is I want more number of interactions with me. In online, we don't have any of our interactions. Now, I hope it will come, but I'm not sure it will come or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters. And to the prospective member, Tarun. Tarun, I understand your concern. You don't want to continue your membership for 3 reasons, right? One thing is you are not online meeting is not effective for you, and second one I identified is you don't have a proper mentor. Okay. And first, let me tell you, Toastmasters is one of the best platform to learn public speaking, because if you want to learn public speaking, if you go in an office, you want to speak in front of the audience, you don't want to fail in front of those audience. But here you can fail, as our VDM mentioned, you can fail multiple times. People are there to listen to you, guide you, give the feedback as well. So, but why we need to do in this particular club? Chennai Toastmasters Club is one of the first clubs to be started in the whole of Tamil Nadu, chartered from Tamil Nadu. And we have all senior Toastmasters here. And you are concerned about having a mentor. I can see I have a best mentor here. See, DTM Neena Jarna, DTM Venu is there. If you want to take a chance, just become his mentee. You know his problem. You will be given the painful time every 1 month time. You will get a follow from him. He will ask you to be part of the XCOM, and he will keep you busy, and he will also make you a little membership. You will be happy to convince more people to become member. So that's 2 things I've answered. The third point, the effectiveness of online meeting. Yes, is the most effective. Now we started hybrid meeting as well, but online is also effective because now the real audience is here. When you get into online meeting, the audience is the camera. So that's the new things you need to, new normal situation you have to learn, because even our presentations, future presentations happening through video conference. So this really teaches you how to present through virtual meetings. So now we have both the platforms here. Please renew your membership, and we are happy to welcome you back. Thank you.
This mentorship point which I said is only for the table topic.
Can you mention your mentors again?
My mentor is Sanjay actually.
Thank you so much for the brave soul, Toastmaster Karun, and effective VP membership, Toastmaster Lakshmana. Next, I'd like to call any guests who are here to volunteer. Yeah. Deepak, if you could go back to any age for 1 week, what age it would be and why? If you could go back to any age for 1 week, what age it would be and why? Deepak.
Okay. Yes, hello. Hi, my name is Deepak. I'm from Alsalam. Yes, one age that I would need to go back is to my teens, where everyone wanted to go back and everyone wanted to do something else. So I haven't done something else, and that's why I wanted to go to the teens. I wanted to be very cheerful. I wanted to speak boldly to my teachers, and I wanted to say something about that. And I wanted to go back to teens. I wanted to meet my friends. It was those days. So we will not be having that much pressure on our things. It will be so fun. So that's why I wanted to go back to teens. I didn't enjoy that pressure or something like that. So that's why I wanted to go. And teens is one thing that is very, 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 everyone could be enjoying. That too, the school days. That fun, that thing, that first proposal to the girlfriend, everything, every other stuff. So I'm not experienced since I did not propose anyone. So that is why I wanted to go into that. And That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Srigan Kuthikrishnan. Toastmaster Srigan Kuthikrishnan. Life depends on renewal and change. Life depends on renewal and change. Toastmaster Srigan Kuthikrishnan.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. This is a very intriguing notion that life depends on renewal and change. As one of the earlier speakers said, change is constant. You can't stop that. But what we need to realize in this birth that has been gifted to us sounds a little philosophical, but have a deep thought of what I'm saying. If we think as human beings, we are here just to have an education, a breadwinning education, raise a family, die, and have an ordinary tombstone, we are no different from animals. So the human birth that we have is for us to go from the physical stage to a spiritual stage. That's what humanity is all about. What I really trying to tell you is, most of us think that we are spiritual beings, but we are not spiritual beings having a human experience, but it is the other way around. We are all having a spiritual experience in this human birth. So it should be your endeavor every day, every moment, and every morning when you wake up, that you are here on a purpose. There are no accidents in this life. You have come here to give something to this world that has been bestowed onto you. You have to keep changing yourself every morning. And every time you realize that you are going from this physical being to a spiritual being, let me tell you something, my dear friends. You are not going to have pain or suffering in your life. You are not going to have pain or suffering in your life, which means you don't identify yourself as a physical body, but you identify yourself as a spiritual being. Once you come to that state of awareness, you're not going to have pain. And it is a truth, profound truth that all of us have to realize. This life doesn't give any pain. But once you identify yourself as a person with the body that you have, you're destined to have a life of pain and suffering. Be the spiritual person, you are unlimited, and you can manifest anything that you want in your life. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Next, I'd like to call Toastmaster Ravinder. Toastmaster Ravinder, why it is nice to live next to a nuclear power plant? Why it is nice to live next to a nuclear power plant? Toastmaster Ravinder.
Thank you, David. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and tabletop masters. Next to nuclear power plant, I don't know, but I am residing in conventional power. See, power plant, integrated steel plant, nuclear power plant, solar power plant, it is all required for development. But are you aware that it all brings some malice and the disaster part of that? You might have heard the Vedanta group, you might have heard what was happening in Sikori. It is happening every day in my plant also. It is simple thermal power. There are small lacunas which led to some tragedy, or even I say the rarest part fatal also. But it is a development phase. Even a monument, even the 7 wonders of the world are made not by simple. It was all brought some historic stories, some saddest part, and we see that the top notch that yes, it is the 7 wonders of the world, or it is, but everywhere it is required that you have the saddest part, some hidden agenda, some stories where it leads to those that yes, this is now remembered because of this reason. So similar way, in a
power plant or in nuclear, there are some atoms which brings some hazards to the human life and also in the planet. So friends, you might be all aware that all smart things which are chemically or physically generated are maximally located in Asian part of the world. Be it Bhopal, be it Bharuch, tragedy, be it Tuticorin, anywhere you see, because we are thickly populated and it brings lot of it requires manpower, but manpower not at the cost of development. You have to have balance, otherwise it will lead to some problems. That's why power plant, thermal, nuclear, or anything is needed, but not at the cost of things. Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to call any guests who want to volunteer. Any guests? Any guests who want to volunteer? Surya, you've been here for communication or leadership? Skill. Tell us why communication skill and leadership skill is important in one's life. Tell us why communication skill and leadership skill is important in one life. Guess Surya. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for Siddharth for giving me this opportunity in the first place. Yeah. So I see communication and leadership is a like buzzword that everyone should have, because that shows you, stand apart from the crowd. So yeah, when it comes to communication, it's just I see communication as a tool where you communicate with one person to another person, where you can give clarity of what's happening around or what's happening going to around. So a lot of context around it. So I see communication as a tool to give a lot of clarity to other human beings or even an animal for that matter. So when it's come to leadership I see is a tool where you use yourself or you project yourself to show to outside world that I am different here. So I can manage everything. I can give best to the community. I can give best to the society. So I see both communication and leadership. It's a very tool where it creates one common tool where people can show themselves. This is me, and he can, he or she can, protect itself as I have a lot of things to show, and he can help you to excel in your life, helps you excel in your society, helps you excel among your friends. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Surya. You are in the right place. BP membership, please note down. Next, I'd like to call Toastmaster Nagendra Bharati on screen. Sir, are you available? Yeah.
Yes, Toastmaster Sarath.
Sir, you are a veteran Toastmaster. Sir, what makes yourself to renew to Toastmaster membership each time, and about your experience in Toastmasters journey? Over to you, Toastmaster Nagendra.
Thank you. At least let me have the feeling of participating in that meeting by standing and speaking. Why I am renewing every year regularly? The first thing which comes to my mind is to be coherent, to be consistent in being in the top 10 of the first renewing persons in our Toastmasters Club since 2007. I joined this Toastmasters Club in 2007. From that day onwards, my name is coming in the top 10 of that renewal list. You can consult those presidents, erstwhile presidents, if you are able to talk to them, you can get that and verify that. So that is the first thing which I want to ensure, that my name comes in the top 10 of that list. Why we want to be in the top 10? Whatever field, whatever area of operation which we are into, why do we want to be in the top 10? If you think about that, then you will find out the reason behind that. I want to, in the case of Toastmasters Club, naturally the reasons being to improve our communication skills and leadership skills, of course. If I want to be top 10 in some industry, I want to be the first person to be called whenever any problem arises relating to that industry. In that same way, in Chennai Toastmasters Club also, I want to be the top person who can be contacted to know about Toastmasters Club. These are all just for, for the sake of saying, because actually I am not regularly attending the Toastmasters Club. Maybe the another reason could be to improve the discipline, to improve my regularity in attending the Toastmasters Club. I am regularly renewing that on time so that I can participate and let me test my strength, my willpower to come to the Toastmasters Club regularly, at least in future. That might be the reason why I am renewing the Toastmasters Club renewal membership every year regularly and coming in the top 10 list. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you for the inspiration speech of why to renew as a membership in the club. Next, I would like to call Yes, Shweta from online. Yes, Shweta, are you available? Any guest who want to volunteer? Any guests from online who want to volunteer?
We have only one guest in the online platform, Toastmaster Sharath. So the other members are available.
Toastmaster, are you available? Yes. So Toastmaster Anil, your topic is, suppose if you can go back to your age of 10, what advice you will give to yourself? If you can go back to your age of 10, what advice you will give to yourself? Anil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharath. If I am able to go back to my age of 10, what advice would I give to myself? Back when I was 10 years old, I was a very quiet kid. I never used to play much. That's a fact. I was too lazy to just even play with my friends nearby. I always used to sit home and just read comics and then spend life in a very lazy way. So if I were able to go back to that age, I would advise myself to do three things. Firstly, one would be to go out and socialize more and then make new friends. Secondly, I would advise myself to play more, exercise more, and have a very healthy social life. And thirdly, I would also tell myself to get more organized and start getting more mature, because all those bad habits that were with me stayed on for a very long time. And so this is the advice that I would give to myself if I could go back. Thank you, Toastmaster. Over to you.
Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Krishna from online.
Yes, sir.
Toastmaster Krishna, your topic is, tell us about your childhood memories.
My childhood memories. Honestly, I never used to live properly in my childhood. I never used to go out, never used to mingle with my friends. I don't have any childhood memories. But the only thing that I used to do regularly was to get into sports, like as in badminton and basketball. So I used to do that regularly without even not going for even a single day. Even when I was sick, I still used to go play, because that's the only thing I used to have, because I never used to have any friends. And I honestly, I didn't have the intentions of having friends that much. And I'm not a very social person also. So and also whatever opportunities that I used to get, I never used to let them go. For example, like if however a minor of a tournament there is, I still like to participate and try to get the first prize. So that's the only thing that kept me going for a very long time. And now I thought that the mindset I had was actually not so good. So after a particular age, when I
after 15 years, I like realized that having friends is pretty important, because you know that what you're worth and what they like need from you or what you need from them is pretty important, and the relationship that we have is also pretty important. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna. So with this, we come to the end of TT session. May I request the timer to call out the names of qualified TT speakers for the purpose of voting. Just name some. Thank you. And can you also read out the names of qualified prepared speakers?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So with this, we come to the end of our TT session. I now hand over the control to our Toastmaster of the day. That's really awesome job by Toastmaster Sarath. That's why we need to have this TT session. TT doesn't mean table topic only. If you are terrified to talk, they will torture you to talk so that you can develop the talent to talk. That's why it's a TT session. So kudos to that. And also you might have witnessed that when Toastmaster Sarath asked one of the Toastmasters, can you tell me the reason why he's not renewed? Not fine, right? He was struggling. He was a good speaker, yes. He can't find the reason because he's a Toastmaster. That's the problem with Toastmaster. Once you are Toastmaster, you are always the Toastmaster. Whenever the Toastmaster Nagendra Bharti got this opportunity, why he should renew? A lot of things, right? This is the way we are Toastmasters are working. And apart from the communication, we are getting the leadership skill also in Toastmaster. The leadership skills not only lead, the time management, critical thinking, conflict management, everything you are getting. Time management you will get. Because within 2 minutes, all the thoughts you have to talk is not easy. So you will learn here. And next segment is the evaluation segment, where you are going to analyze. They're going to criticize or critically you are evaluating someone else's speech, giving the positive feedback. That's all we need in our real life. That's what we are going to have the next segment. To conduct the feedback segment, we have our own DTM, Nina Jan, the gentle evaluator. Welcome to our small DTM, Nina Jan, to conduct the feedback segment. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah, sorry. Before that, I request all the audience, please vote for the best speaker as well as the table topic. You have already got the piece of paper. BS stand for best speaker and BT stand for best table topic speaker and VE stand for best evaluator. After that, now I request you all to vote for the best speaker as well as best BT before evaluation.
Sir, can we have the polls towards the end, because we are yet to have the polls launched via Zoom?
Yeah, I will request the admin to. So, who is going to do that for online?
So I'm doing it. I'm just making the polls for TT. So if you could have it slightly after a gap.
Yes. Thank you. Now I hand over that to teacher.
Evaluation has always been described as a part of the Toastmasters journey, because we all come in and we want to know how did I do, how good was I, where can I improve. So for our evaluation segment, our first speaker was Madam Toastmaster Geeta Shah. Our first evaluator is Madam Toastmaster Rekha, who has been the president of CPM and is a veteran evaluator and captain. Madam Neena John. So congratulations for taking the next step in your second part, Toastmaster Geeta. Your speech was a coherent speech. being a senior speaker or senior Toastmaster, as you have stepped into the second part, I may be a little critical on my evaluation. So let me start with what I love the most in the speech. So I love the most, the speech had a clear structure, it had a clear opening, body and conclusion. And moving this, the speech had story, it has two stories, one personal story as well as a general story. People generally connect well with the story, so usage of story was most appreciable. And this experience what you had and the message to value people in your life, I think like I did connect with the message, I did connect with the experience, and I am very sure every audience would have connected with this such similar incident and message. I really appreciate on these points. Now, how you can improve this speech to from a good speech to a better speech and a best speech? One, I would love to see in your standing mode. When you're going to deliver the speech in standing mode, it gives scope for improving and implementing your body language. And next, when you set stories, when you share stories, you could have brought in more drama and dialogue, which would have again brought in scope for certain voice modulations. And when you practice it is where you're going to improve in your voice modulation. You did have it, but there is always scope for improvement. And there were few things, a few words were not audible. I understand that being in hybrid meeting, maybe that may be one of the reasons why as an audience from the physical meeting I could not hear. Maybe this point can be noted by everyone, which can be implemented or used in the forthcoming meetings. And when you had a clear conclusion, still I would say the conclusion could have been much stronger. So you said how you taking up the work and somebody taking the credibility or credit for this work, still you were able to gain your experience. But not everyone are God or goddesses where we are going to think in this way. But if you could have given a clear tip on how we can see people in a different way, how we can see the situation in a different way. To give an example, you can say practice empathy. Maybe the other person do not have a self-confidence, and that is why the person want to gain credit for every work which is available around, or something like that, which will really help me to understand why should I value others? Why should I value somebody who is doing the wrong to me? Right? So such type of practical tips would have really helped me to get into this, buy in this concept of valuing people around me, even though they are doing wrong. So as to conclude, there was clear structure, stories was appreciated, but what you could have improved is delivering the speech in a standing mode, a better dialogue and drama in the speech, and a stronger conclusion. With this, I hand over the control to the general evaluator, Madam.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Rekha. We move on now to our next speaker, who is Toastmaster Abhilash, and he is to be evaluated by Toastmaster Deepak Thompson, who has been our PR and has done a lot of work for the club. Over to you, sir, Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Ninaja. To my target speaker, Toastmaster Abhilash. Wow, what a wonderful speech I heard today. And yes, of course, I started loving the Italy stories that you told. And now I'm in love with the Samyukta's great Italy. So now, stressing the words is one part of the vocal variety. Well, you did exactly that. You stressed all the keywords like green tea, entire universe. Just 24. Macha, it's my birthday. So you used your vocal variety aptly at the right time. So now I heard about 3 dimensions of vocal variety. One is the volume. You will whisper and you will shout, and there is a rate of speed. That is, you will talk slow and you will talk fast. And then the third dimension is the low to high. Well, you covered all 3 of these dimensions. Volume was very good, and your rate of speech is also not too slow and not too fast. And you modulated your pitch from low to high whenever needed. I just loved your entire speech. So, all the very best. I don't have any recommendation to you as of now, but we all loved your speech very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abhilash. And over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Master Deepak and Master Rekha for those concise evaluations. We move on now to our reports from the tag team. I request our timer, Toastmaster Rashid, to give his report.
So this speakers. Toastmaster Geeta Sharaf took 7 minutes and Toastmaster Abhilash took 6 minutes and 12 seconds. In the tabletop section, Toastmaster Sharaf, the tabletop master, took 1 minute and 8 seconds. The first participant, Toastmaster Adam Ibrahim, took 1 minute and 9 seconds. Second participant, Toastmaster Tarun. Sorry, the second one was distinguished Toastmaster Ratish. Took 1 minute and 48 seconds. Toastmaster Tarun, 1 minute. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayan, 1 minute, 50 seconds. Yes, Deepa, 1 minute, 4 seconds. Toastmaster Srika, 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Toastmaster Revital Priya, 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Yes, Surya, 1 minute, 26 seconds. Toastmaster Nagendra Bharti, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Toastmaster Anirudh, 1 minute and 2 seconds. Toastmaster Krishna, 1 minute, 39 seconds. And the various Toastmaster Rekha took 3 minutes and 32 seconds. And Toastmaster Deepak, 1 minute.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rishi. We move on now to our Alcantar, Toastmaster Karan.
The Alcantar report. Distinguished Toastmaster Nilakanthan has used 1 slow, 1 half, and 2 halves, 2+ halves, and Toastmaster VC has used 1 half. And both of our speakers are flawless today, appreciable. And on the table topic session, Toastmaster Sadat used 1 slow, 2+ hours. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayan used 2+ hours. Toastmaster Deepak guest used 1 hour, and Toastmaster guest Surya is used 3+ hours, 3+ shows, and 2+ times. And Toastmaster Krishna has used 2+ ands and 2+ shows. And from the evaluation part, Toastmaster Rekha has used 2+ hours, and Toastmaster Deepak has used 1+ hours. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bharat. And now we move on to our grammarian who is online, Toastmaster Shiva.
Hi, thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Nina John. Today, as a grammarian, I have observed some of the good usage of words, like Toastmaster Geeta used reluctantly, stimulating, and she also used beautiful quote, wind beneath my wings. And Toastmaster Srikanth used bread-winning studies, and Toastmaster Nagendra Bharti used the word of the day, coherent. Toastmaster Anirudh used word socialize, more matured. And one more Toastmaster, I could not get his name because of the hybrid model, I could not hear it properly. He used top notch. And most of the speakers have used English language proficiently and concurrent with the message. There are very little suggestion, like instead of showed me, it should be shown me, and I am come to know, it should have been I get to know that two things can answer, it will answer your queries. So these are some observations from my side, and thanks for the opportunity. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster, for that. Then I move on to my general evaluators report. I'm going to divide into two parts. One is the Toastmaster meeting part of it, which I think everyone loves it. It's a hybrid meeting. We see each other, we can talk to each other, we can shake hands. We can see. So yes, I think that energy comes back when it was a physical meeting. So thanks to the XCOM for organizing it, and anyway, it's good, but since the hall is a little wide, there tends to be a little bit of an echo. Hopefully, we'll have enough members to fill up the hall and make sure sound waves ricochet over each other and not onto the walls. So that is part of the thing. The actual meeting went on very smoothly in terms of all three segments conducted seamlessly, transitioned seamlessly, overall flawless meeting as far as the Toastmasters is concerned. As far as the hybrid meeting is concerned, yes, we're going to have beginners problems, starting problems, hiccups. We have problems setting up the screen and all of those things. Some of the things that I would suggest is, one, for example, we have lights, right? Use the spotlights for the speakers. So you have these spotlights, let them be here for the speakers, so we can see speakers' face clearly. Very, very important for the audience. And turn off unnecessary lights so that you're not distracted by that. That way we have a direct connection. We can see your face, and as an audience, we can see the audience. So lighting, very, very important part of the Toastmasters. As far as the time of device is concerned, we had a good device. Speakers were able to see that absolutely fine in terms of hygiene conditions. Social distancing and spacing between chairs was maintained. As an audience, I would request those who cannot see to please move your chairs a little bit so that you can see without craning your necks and have a comfortable Toastmaster meeting. So that's one thing for the listeners. Overall, I think we had a great experience, and I would like to hand over back to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster,
please give a big round of applause. Wonderful evaluation and feedback. So this is the one important thing we are getting in Toastmasters. Here, whether you are delivering a good speech or not so good speech, even if you utter a single word and you are moving away, you will get a clap. Nowhere in the world you will get that. Here, people are encouraging not to commit mistakes, learn from your mistakes. That's why we are repeating. So that's why we should renew our membership. That's why we should join Toastmasters International. It's a non-profit organization. We are not getting it because I am spending my almost that right from the 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I'm just talking about Toastmasters. How much incentive I will get? Just imagine, guest, anybody? How much incentive I will get for if I make you a Toastmaster? Can you say that? No idea, right? Zero incentive. I will get the satisfaction that you are going to be part of our family. So we are not getting any incentive or anything, but we want to share our experience so that you will also get the same benefit what we did. So I hope you all enjoyed today's meeting and got the experience firsthand. Let it be online, let it be on spot. You got it. This is a really a special meeting, right? So no way you get these kinds of experience to learn from those kinds of hybrid meetings. So now you are so confident that you can manage whatever the presentation, whatever the things you have to do in the office. This is a platform you can learn. So with that, it's time to conclude. Before that, let me ask you all to vote for the best evaluator. The B stands for best evaluator. Out of the 2 evaluators, both qualified, and you can vote for the best evaluator as well as the best tag role player. Tag means timer, accountant, grammarian. Out of the 3 role players, you can vote for the best one. And next one is BR stand for best role players. The best role players into Toastmaster of the day, topic master, and general evaluator. Out of 3, you can vote for the best role player. So with that, we come to unfortunately or fortunately we come to an end. So let me hand it go back to those the presiding officer, Toastmaster Abhirami. Back to you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, distinguished Toastmaster Venu. The moment you started your topic, I could see a very wide smile on my on our VP membership's face, because this is some topic which is very relevant and very relevant, especially for the March renewal season. I'm sure this helps most of the members who are making a decision at this point. And now, before we get into announcing the results, I think the poll for the Zoom has been initiated. I'm not sure if that is visible there at the venue out there, but yes, the poll has been initiated, and we could have that in the backend. So the poll for best evaluator is open. And all the participants in Zoom and also those who are in the venue can mark the ballots. I think, okay, the ballot collection is also done at the physical venue. Then probably we will go on to the next poll. Maybe distinguished Toastmaster Venu will need your help to get the guest feedback from the members who are there on the ground while the poll is going in the back end in Zoom. Can we call the guests one by one onto the stage, because we are not able to hear them if they are speaking from their place?
Thank you again. Thank you, Mr. Rami. Guests, dear guests, it's time for your feedback. So, Surya Narayan, could you please come here and give your feedback after attending meeting? How do you feel? Any suggestion you want to give or your feedback?
Yeah, first of all, I really like the way you organize everything, and it's quite refreshing after attending for some time. I have only one suggestion, and I'm very new to this company. I have just one suggestion, and this is also the first time you guys are telling we are moving to hybrid and stuff. The people who talks online, so some people have very basic voice. It's not a mistake, it's a very basic voice. The audio comes from the system I couldn't able to understand just because of the speaker or something else. That is one suggestion I need to provide to you guys. Other than that, when it's come to Toastmasters on this meeting, I felt quite refreshed, and I have very different perspective. I said whatever I see in the videos I see through YouTube or the how it's going to be, but it's quite different, and I getting some confidence that I can improve myself down the line of sometimes. Yeah, that's what my goal.
Thank you so much. Hope you would come next week also. Yeah, that's exactly our general values also pinpoint that surrounding in the ecosystem. That's we are learning from our mistake, right? Next week we will correct it. That's the Toastmaster. And next I would like to call upon Toastmaster Kumaraguru. Yeah, if you like to give your feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, yeah, it's a nice experience. Basically, it's a nice and wonderful experience after the COVID time. I'm just gathered that this is my first meeting, handshake, and it's a wow. Because basically, before coming to the meeting, I just have no idea about how the Toastmaster works and all. I just invented by the Surya Narayan, just a great experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kumaraguru. By the way, his name is Satya Narayana, Lakshmi Satya Narayana, right? Perfect. Thank you. Welcome back. Next, we have guest Muntazir Ahmed. Right? Yeah, Muntazir, please. Nice.
So actually, this is my first time actually attending any Toastmaster session. I don't really know what feedback to give because there's no base on where I can give feedback from. But I really enjoyed the session, and I got to know a lot of different points of view over here based on whatever people were speaking about. So that was great. So yeah, I really enjoyed it and would definitely try it out again next time. I also wanted to know more about the leadership skills which you were speaking about. I would like to know more.
Sure.
Yes, my name is Muntazir, and actually I'm from Bangalore. I've come to Chennai in the past 2 months. I've been here in Chennai, so I'm just trying to explore the city and meet new people and stuff.
Thank you, Muntazir. We have another gentleman from Bangalore, just to leave, visiting from there to here to attend the meeting. Thank you. Radish, would you like to give a feedback? Because we want to hear from Bangalore what difference you are finding in our club.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity, guys. I love the entire session, starting from the way we started the hybrid model and till now. We are also planning to go hybrid. We were not having any idea how to do it, but this is one place I read, okay, how the hybrid works and what to do. Thank you so much for that. And I have heard Abhilash's speech and I evaluated his speech also. Second time I'm listening to him, it was nice listening, even though it's a repeat speech. I enjoyed other speakers' speeches. Each and every segment I enjoyed a lot. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I think I utilized my 2 hours very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry for the technical glitch. Now I'd like to call upon guest Deepak. Deepak, yeah, your feedback. Deepak, anyway, Deepak.
Okay, it was nice enjoying. It was a great pleasure to be here. First of all, thank you so much for making me speak. I'm a very bad speaker. I'm really sorry for it today. Yes, I have to need to improve a lot, but I got a confidence. I usually be a person who I don't care about anyone. Whether it is right or wrong, I used to be like this. Let us try our best. Let us do whatever we do. Let it be right or wrong. So I have tried this and you guys engaged me, and big round of applause to everyone, those who spoke today. It was really nice. And thank you so much. It was nice, and you're nice too.
Thank you. Last line I like. If you are a bad speaker, you are supposed to join Toastmaster. Your mentor will correct it. So, Abhirami Toastmaster, would you like to do the feedback?
Sorry. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
to some personal issues, I was not able to attend the Toastmasters class. After a long time, due to physical class, I just attended it. I want to improve my communication skills, and I'm looking forward for the next sessions to improve myself. Thank you.
So once you join Toastmaster, you will always be Toastmaster. So that's Aditya proved that. So this is what we got from on the spot. Would you like to get your feedback from online? Birani, Toastmaster Birani?
Yes, thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Venu. We have one guest in the Zoom. I would like to get her feedback as well. Guest Shweta, are you available?
Yes, I'm available. I guess I shared my experience back when I joined first, and it hasn't changed anything yet. I'm just very excited to join you guys on the physical venue and be one of the Toastmasters. And I'm actually overwhelmed at this experience, and thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Shweta. Good to hear that. Okay, now it's time to recognize the first-time role players who performed their roles for the first time today. We had timer Toastmaster Rishi and our grammarian Toastmaster Shivakumar, who did their roles for the first time. A good round of applause for them. Now, to hear the results for today, the best tag role player is grammarian Shivakumar, Toastmaster Shivakumar. Can we have the Toastmaster of the day to call the winner on stage? Toastmaster Shivakumar on stage. Okay, yeah, he's here on the Zoom. Yeah. Okay, congratulations, Toastmaster Shivakumar.
Thank you.
Next. Yeah, the best evaluator for today is Toastmaster Rekha. Congratulations, ma'am. Please come on stage.
Now 1 minute.
Photo, please. Okay, now the best TT speaker for today is Toastmaster Shrikant Kuttikrishnan. Now it's time to announce the best speaker for today, none other than the man who is fought for the idli, Toastmaster Abhilash.
But still single to mingle. That's a very important.
Now, for announcing the best role player of today, I will request distinguished Toastmaster Nina John on stage, because the winner is our Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Venu, for the role of Toastmaster of the day. Great. What a great meeting. And I think each one of you had a good time, both on the physical and also in the Zoom meet. Hoping to get the meetings better. We'll definitely incorporate the feedback of our general evaluator and get things rolling much better. Also, I would like to thank the XCOM team who made the whole setup seamless. Can all the XCOM members on the ground come onto stage for a moment? Toastmaster Abhilash, Toastmaster Lakshmi, Toastmaster Tarun, Toastmaster Vishnu. So a big round of applause for all these members who were there trying to set up everything and giving us a seamless hybrid experience. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you, team. And also to all the members for the guidance, the hybrid team, Toastmaster Venu, Toastmaster Shrikant, and Toastmaster Nanda sir, who are there to guide us on our next steps. Thank you so much. Now, on this note, I would like to adjourn this meeting number 818. Thank you. After this session, we will be arranging the snacks. I believe it is arranged at the terrace of this location.
Abhidhamni, before we conclude, requesting everyone to switch on your videos. We'll all take a group photo together.
Yes.
Please, everyone turn on photos. Our physical audience, please, let us all. Photos, one of the things we have missed for a long time. We can stand, man.
Nagendra Bharti sir, we should go to the venue for snacks, sir. This is the question for the Zoom audience. How do we get snacks online?
No problem, come here.
Selvi and Guest Shweta, is it possible for you to switch on your videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, just for a quick snap. Yeah. Yes, Nagendra sir, definitely. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Abhilash, for briefing the guests, you would be reaching out to them, right? You and Tarun? I mean, for escorting the guests and the rest of the people for the snacks and also for the guest briefing, or just collecting the details. Maybe Deepak can talk to them later if that's easier. I'm not able to hear you all. Maybe that's why I'm going